woke up in an empty penthouse with $10 million in debt and a blood-stained phone vibrating on the floor. Every piece of art gone. Every bank account frozen. A crimson-red notification flashed on the screen. Asset liquidation approved. A cold sweat dropped down. Reality shattered completely. The perfect life was nothing but an illusion. An engineered nightmare designed to trap, to destroy, to leave absolutely nothing. Flashback. 12 months ago. High-end financial gala. Crystal chandeliers shining bright. Enter Raymond. Impeccable bespoke suit. Warm hypnotic smile. Eyes reflecting absolute confidence. He approaches with a glass of champagne. A perfect savior emerging from the elite crowd. His voice is smooth velvet, promising safety. Promising a golden shield against the volatile markets. A master of corporate charm. He studies the target, analyzing every vulnerability, every hidden financial anxiety with predatory precision. The trap is laid with elegant words and false hope. A handshake seals the bond. The beginning of a flawless execution. The unsuspecting victim smiles, completely blind to the calculating monster hiding behind the mask of a brilliant financial mentor. Step 3. Systematic isolation. Raymond speaks with toxic tenderness. He implants subtle seeds of doubt, questioning the loyalty of lifelong friends, whispering dark warnings about jealous family members. They only want your wealth. He smiles warmly. The psychological manipulation intensifies daily. Phone calls are monitored, emails subtly intercepted, social circles carefully dissolved. The victim is trapped inside a dark echo chamber, hearing only Raymond's voice, trusting only Raymond's twisted guidance. Slowly, a thick wall of paranoia rises, cutting off all lifelines, destroying the entire safety net. The target is now vulnerable, alone in the dark, completely dependent on the predator, ready to be guided directly into the heart of the ultimate psychological ambush. The master stroke, the introduction of the golden trap. Raymond presents a complex investment portfolio, a rare opportunity, a high-yield asset liquidation fund. It is exclusive, bulletproof, guarded by international banks, Raymond explains with absolute authority. He shows fabricated digital charts, skyrocketing profit lines, glowing green projections that promise absolute financial freedom. The document is heavy, bound in black leather, smelling of expensive corporate success. Raymond places a sleek gold pen into the victim's trembling hand. The ultimate bait is dangled beautifully before desperate eyes. Just one signature, one small transfer of control, and all worries will vanish forever. The illusion is so blinding, so intoxicating, that the victim cannot see the razor-sharp teeth of the hidden economic jaws ready to snap shut permanently. The first cracks appear. Late at night, the protagonist logs into the secure banking portal. A strange anomaly. An unhandled digital exception error pops up. Account balance unavailable. He calls the support hotline. Static hums over the wire. A cold mechanical voice answers, reciting empty automated corporate scripts. All lines are currently busy. Please hold. Suspicion begins to burn like acid. He texts Raymond. No response. Minutes stretch into agonizing hours. The modern smart home feels suddenly cold, hostile, claustrophobic. The sleek glass and steel walls reflect a face twisting with sudden anxiety. The perfect system is glitching, a subtle leak in the airtight reality. The first terrifying hint that something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. The golden shield is starting to rust, revealing the jagged spikes of a sinister trap hiding just underneath it. Sunrise. A cold, gray morning. The protagonist confronts Raymond at his high-rise office. The atmosphere is freezing, heavy with unspoken dread. Raymond sits behind his clean desk. No smile, no warmth left. The corporate mask has officially vanished. I want to liquidate my assets now, the protagonist demands, voice cracking with fear. Raymond looks up slowly, his eyes dead, empty, terrifying. A cruel silence fills the room. The funds are locked under Section 9, Raymond whispers coldly. Any early withdrawal means total forfeiture. He slides a paper across the desk. Clauses, fine print, legal traps hidden in plain sight. A brutal realization strikes. Raymond is no longer a mentor. He is a predatory jailer. The psychological, financial abuse is out in the open. Absolute crushing. Impossible to escape. Panic drives him to action. The protagonist rushes to his trusted family attorney. A frantic drive through a rain-soaked city. He bursts into the law firm, demanding immediate legal action. But the attorney looks down, avoiding eye contact completely. He signs deeply, sliding a file folder forward. Inside, photos, wire transfer receipts, corporate registries. The terrifying truth explodes into reality. The attorney is on Raymond's payroll. The entire support system is an elaborate sham. A synthetic web designed to isolate and destroy him. Every door is locked from the outside. The dark realization settles in. Spotting a con artist is easy when it is too late. He is surrounded by actors, puppets, controlled by a master psychopath, drowning in a beautiful, calculated ocean of systemic lies. No options left, cornered like prey. Raymond appears in the attorney's office out of the shadows. 2 heavy security guards stand by the door, blocking any exit. A stark overhead halogen light beats down on the desk. Raymond places a final document before him. A total asset liquidation release form. Sign it. And this all goes away, Raymond says softly, a deadly edge beneath the words. The psychological weight is heavy, crushing all resistance. The protagonist looks at the guards, their faces carved from stone. His mind shatters into 1,000 fragments. He is forced to hand over his entire life's work under absolute duress, hand shaking violently. The pen meets the paper. The line is drawn. The finality is absolute. The trap has officially closed, locking him inside a digital prison of total financial ruin. The immediate aftermath. Total emotional collapse. The protagonist sits on the floor of his hollow apartment, knees pulled tightly to his chest. The silence is deafening. Years of hard work, sleepless nights, sacrificed family moments, all vaporized into a digital black hole in a single afternoon. The psychological, financial abuse leaves scars that no physical wound can match. He stares at the dust motes dancing in the cold sunlight. His identity has been stolen, stripped away alongside his bank accounts. He feels invisible, like a ghost wandering inside his own ruined life. The pain is not just about the money, it is the complete violation of trust, the destruction of his self-worth. He is completely broken, reduced to nothing, a tragic monument to the lethal efficiency of Raymond's calculated financial execution. No more hiding, the climax of the psychological war. The protagonist walks into a high-end underground restaurant, cornering Raymond during a private dinner. The surrounding elite gasp, silver cutlery dropping onto porcelain plates. "You took everything," the protagonist says, voice steady now, lethal. Raymond doesn't even look up from his steak, cutting the bloody meat with absolute precision. He takes a slow sip of red wine, wiping his mouth with a white silk napkin. He looks up, eyes piercing, psychopathic. "I took nothing," Raymond smiles coldly. "You handed it to me, begging for salvation." The Moth One reaches a boiling point. Raymond leans in, whispering with absolute malice. "You are weak, and the weak exist to be liquidated. The final mask is shattered. How psychopaths control you is through your own desperate greed, leaving you completely hollow. No help is coming. The legal system is blind." The protagonist stands inside the cold white corridor of the municipal police station. He explains the complex financial fraud to an exhausted detective. The detective flips through the signed liquidation documents, shaking his head slowly. "You sign these forms voluntarily, sir," the detective says, his voice devoid of empathy. "On paper, this is a perfectly legal asset transfer. There is no crime here, only bad business." Every word feels like a physical blow. The protagonist realizes the horrifying genius of Raymond's plan. The toxic asset liquidation trap is designed to look completely legitimate from the outside. The law cannot touch him. The protagonist walks out into the pouring rain, completely unprotected, realizing he is entirely on his own. The execution moves to phase 2, social liquidation. Raymond begins to systematically destroy the protagonist's professional reputation. Fake news articles emerge online, accusing the protagonist of corporate embezzlement and mental instability. Lies spread through the corporate world like wildfire. He watches his professional profile vanish in real time. Former colleagues block his number, elite business clubs revoke his membership. The signs of financial manipulation are now accompanied by total social erasure. Raymond wants to ensure he cannot fight back. The phone screen blinks with endless hateful comments from online strangers. He is turned into a public monster, a toxic pariah in his own city. He is completely isolated, stripped of his wealth, and now stripped of his dignity, trapped inside a synthetic nightmare of public execution. The turning point, a ghost from the past emerges. While packing his remaining personal belongings into a cardboard box, the protagonist drops an old inherited grandfather clock. The wood cracks open, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside, an old micro-cassette tape from 20 years ago, labeled with his late father's handwriting. He plays it on an old recorder, static filling the dark room. A familiar voice speaks through the tape, smooth velvet, chilling. It is a younger Raymond, blackmailing his father, driving him to an early grave using the exact same financial manipulation tactics. This was never a random con. It is a multi-generational vendetta. Spotting a con artist requires knowing their dark history. The realization ignites a blinding fire of fury. He is no longer a helpless victim. He is a weapon of absolute vengeance. To catch a predator, you must play the prey perfectly. The protagonist initiates a brilliant counter-strategy. He begins to act completely unhinged in public. He wanders near Raymond's corporate headquarters, clothes disheveled, laughing hysterically at nothing, looking like a broken victim of total psychological financial abuse. Raymond watches from his high-rise window, a smile of absolute triumph on his face. He is completely broken, Raymond tells his assistants, letting his guard down completely. The gaslighting in relationships has worked perfectly, or so he thinks. This is a masterclass in psychological warfare. The protagonist is baiting the master con artist into making a fatal mistake. Underneath the mask of madness, his mind is razor sharp, calculating the exact coordinates of Raymond's upcoming corporate execution. The trap is set backwards. The protagonist tracks down Raymond's former secretary, a woman who vanished from the industry 3 years ago. They meet in a dim, smoky diner on the edge of the city. She sits in a dark booth, eyes wide with lingering paranoia. "He destroyed my life too," she whispers, her hands shaking as she lights a cigarette. But she has something Raymond thought he destroyed, a backup hard drive containing his encrypted offshore transaction logs, the ultimate weapon against his toxic asset liquidation trap. "We can bring him down," the protagonist says, sliding a digital decryption device across the table. They form a silent, lethal alliance born from shared trauma. The predator is about to become the prey, completely oblivious to the digital noose tightening around his neck swiftly. Midnight. The decryption is complete. The protagonist logs into a hidden server, uploading the stolen financial data. The encrypted logs reveal a massive illegal laundering network disguised as a legitimate liquidation fund. Raymond has a weakness, his absolute arrogance. He used the exact same algorithmic encryption key for 20 years, the signature of his psychopathic narcissism. How psychopaths control you is by assuming you are too stupid to fight back. The protagonist uncovers the master server address. He injects a stealth digital Trojan horse into the system, a sleeping virus that will activate at a precise timestamp. The countdown begins. Every line of green code flowing down the screen is a digital nail in Raymond's corporate coffin. The perfect trap is being rewritten from the inside, turning into an absolute economic guillotine. The grand stage, the final liquidation auction. Raymond stands on the podium of a grand ballroom, auctioning off the protagonist's seized luxury assets to elite buyers. The atmosphere is high society elegance, going once, going twice. Raymond smiles arrogantly, gavel raised high. Suddenly, the massive presentation screens behind him glitch violently. The golden corporate logos vanish. In their place, the decrypted offshore accounts, the blackmail audio recordings, the systematic fraud blueprints flash before the entire elite crowd. collective gasp shatters the ballroom. Raymond's face turns instantly pale, his gavel frozen midair. The toxic asset liquidation trap is sprung on the master himself. The protagonist steps out from the back of the room, locking eyes with his ruined predator. Absolute. Beautiful humiliation. Raymond panics, sprinting through the back exit into the private VIP parking garage. His luxury escape vehicle is waiting. Engine idling. He pulls out his encrypted phone, frantically trying to wire the remaining $50 million to his Swiss safe haven. But the screen displays a cold message. Access denied. Security credentials revoked. Suddenly, the car window rolls down slowly. Inside sits his most trusted family attorney, the man he used to destroy the protagonist. The attorney smiles coldly, holding up a flash drive. Section 9 Raymond, the attorney, mimics his voice perfectly. Total forfeiture. The ultimate con artist has been conned by his own inner circle. Spotting a con artist is impossible when they are your own reflection. Raymond shatters, realizing he is completely, utterly alone. No escape. The law finally opens its eyes. Heavy steel doors burst open as federal agents flood the dark garage. Red and blue police lights strobe aggressively across the concrete walls, painting Raymond's face in the colors of his defeat. He is slammed against the cold hood of his own car, iron handcuffs clicking tightly around his wrists. The psychological, financial abuse empire is completely demolished. The protagonist walks forward slowly, standing above the fallen predator. Raymond looks up, his eyes wild, bleeding control. How? Raymond spits out. The protagonist doesn't answer. He just watches calmly as the agents drag the monster away into the flashing neon void. Justice is not a cure, but it is a necessary closure. The liquidation trap has officially claimed its final, most deserving prisoner. A new morning. Genuine light washes over the city. The protagonist stands on the balcony of a modest but sunlit apartment. The concrete cage of the penthouse is gone, replaced by a simple, authentic space. He holds a warm cup of coffee, watching the sunrise break through the dark urban clouds. His wealth is gone, but his soul has been completely recovered. The signs of financial manipulation are lessons carved in gold. He looks directly into the camera, speaking directly to you, the viewer. Watch the signs. Protect your mind. Never let a predator define your worth. The ultimate survival guide is vigilance. The nightmare is over. The healing process begins. He takes a deep breath of fresh air, stepping forward into a beautiful, unmanipulated, truly free future.